What's your favorite video game of all time? The Legend of Zelda for the NES. I had gamed before, but this was the first one that made me want to stay up all night to finish it. The first of many all-nighters. Probably Overwatch 1. Fuck Overwatch 2. Dumpster fire of a game. Halo 1 was amazing beyond words at the time. Ninja Gaiden on original Xbox was insane. Star Wars KOTOR and Force Unleashed. Street Fighter 2. The original Legend of Zelda. Probably Minecraft TBH. I've stuck with it on and off for like 13 years. It's the game I've played the longest in my life and I always come back to it once every year or two. Pokemon Heart Gold / Soul Silver. Silver was my go-to answer for years just for the nostalgia and the music and the first two generations of Pokemon designs being my favorites, and two regions, but the remakes really got everything right. Your Pokemon can follow you around outside the Pokeball. Also all the upgrades the Pokemon games have had over the years like nature's abilities. Separating physical and special attacks. Love it. I've been a big From Software fan ever since I was little. I'd played King's Field 2 on the PS1 when I was still really young, as of right now. My favorite entry of theirs would have to be Bloodborne, however. With Bloodborne as my first. BioShock Infinite has to be a very close second for me. Outer Wilds. Edit, seeing all the love and interest. Also play the Echoes of the IDLC. It is just as good as the base game and expands on the story. Also more scary. If you get stuck. Only if you actually desperately need to just read everything and you won't need to. It's all there in writing or recording. Look up a text walkthrough specifically for the part you're stuck at and when you figure that step. Close the walkthrough. Men. How do you cope with being cheated on? One day you're gonna wake up. Eat your breakfast. Brush your teeth. Go about your business. And sooner or later, you're gonna realize you haven't thought about it. None of it. And that's the moment you realize you can forget. Sounds like you're doing what you need to do. Keep seeing your therapist and see another if you feel you're not making any progress with your current one. Don't be too hard on yourself. You can't really control the actions of the people around you. An actionable thing you can do to help you through tough times like this is go find a craft or sport that interests you and pick it up as a hobby. Even if it doesn't last long. Learning about something new and practicing will help you keep your mind moving. I got cheated on a few days before our 1 year. And I was devastated. I started drinking heavily. Contemplated end-of-life plans. And began sleeping around with just about any girl that would have me. Thankfully, I had a good group of people that helped me through the hardest parts. But it was a hard couple of years for me. It really didn't help that we went to the same school so I saw her around. I started film photography as a hobby and I think getting out and meeting other people with similar interests also helped. But this was all 5 years ago. I've moved on and it doesn't affect me anymore. In short, good friends, fun hobbies, and time will help with the healing process. Why are people on the internet so quick to advise people to divorce or break up? I think people generally mean well by this. Although it is really frequent. They see the ops listing just the red flags they wish they'd seen earlier or the same patterns that cause them prolonged misery in their own relationships they wish they'd skipped their own painful attempts at trying to mend. I do think it comes from a place of care but with a lot of projection and personal, unfortunate regrets that they'd love to spare others. Healing their past selves. In a way. As someone that has been married to my partner for about a decade. The crazy ones are the people that insist on staying with partners that are sincerely a bad match for them. There's billions of people on this earth. No. You don't need that one crusty human that doesn't care about you enough to stop leaving dirty dishes everywhere. Let alone truly meet your emotional needs. Stop trying to turn shit into gold. Have some self-respect and know when enough is enough. I'd rather have died alone than stayed with the awful or entirely incompatible people I dated prior to this relationship. Normalize choosing yourself even if it means flying solo for a while. Nope. I hate this advice and I'm done with it. I've been in a toxic relationship for 10 years. And a large part of that is people telling me exactly this and guilt-tripping me into not leaving. No relationship is perfect is what abusive people say to normalize their behavior. I'd rather die alone than be in yet another toxic relationship with someone who thinks fighting is normal. Fighting is not healthy even if it is normal. And fighting is not loving. That's just you downloading your mental problems onto other people. Disagreements are normal. If you are unable to address them without fighting, you are a shitty person and nobody can fix that for you other than yourself. What would you do if your significant other doesn't drive and is afraid to drive but you're both adults? I think it depends on where you live. In places that are car dependent it might be an issue that prevents them from having a job. In that case therapy might be something I would advise them to consider. Where I live it's not a problem. And in fact my husband doesn't drive. He doesn't have any fear. It's just not necessary. I drive once a week because I'm lazy to take the bus to the office and it's convenient if I want to see my family on the other side of the country and take my rabbits with me, which happens max 1x a month if not less often. Every other day we can get away with walking or using public transport. I don't think anything needs to be done in a situation like this. Because driving is not essential. I've been with my partner for 5 years. He's 30 and still doesn't drive. He has a fear of driving and also never really needed to up until recently. He lived and worked in a downtown area. We now live 10 minutes away from downtown with a baby. While it definitely is frustrating that some tasks automatically fall on me since he can't drive, There's an understanding that he takes on other things to even it out. For me, I'm okay driving for now. He pays for gas sometimes. While it would be nice to have him be able to take on that responsibility, I understand his therapy journey and am supportive. Now that we have a daughter, it is more pressing he gets a license sooner than later for obvious reasons.